This episode of Philly Fame TV is sponsored by Top Dog Law. Now y'all already know who to call for any accidents or injury cases. If you want that top dollar, you better get that Top Dog. You can hit him up on Instagram at Top Dog Law or visit his website www.topdoglaw.com. Philly Fame. Alright, y'all, welcome back to Philly Fame TV once again. This here is Drilladelphia, episode 6. And on this episode right here, we're going to feature Get Bizzy Bam, aka BeenTrill Bizzy. You know what I mean? Like, that's my guy, you know what I mean? From back in the day and all that. You know, I knew him prior to, you know, right before he died. You know, he's running around with ARAD and OBH, so you know he was just getting his wave going with the rap. For as like a lot more people knowing who he was, but he been doing this thing, been on DVD. He wasn't the biggest name, the biggest rapper, but he was in the mix, and a lot of the other rappers who was popping and all that know who he was. Know what I mean? So we gonna jump a little bit into his story, a little bit into his backstory and how I knew him and how I met him, and you know, and all of that, and actually worked with him. I mean, met him at the Philly Hip Hop Awards when he's with OBH. You know, got a little bit of footage of all of them there. So I'll get into all of that, you know, as we go through the episode. But, you know, now without further ado, let's get right into it. So, and there was a little bit of backstory and research on this joint. You know what I mean? I found, like, some information as far as him growing up on Brill Street. That's like Northeast Frankfurt area. I don't know if he lived anywhere before that, if he was born there, that's where he originally from, but, you know, as a young boy, he came up on this block in this area, you know, but I know him to be from, like, Longcrest area. That's kind of how I knew him later on in his life, like, off of Rising Sun. I forget the little cut blocks right there they used to be on and shit like that, but that's where I know him to be from. I mean, as he start rapping and shit like that and then making his name. And then, you know, we got a couple people, you know, around him that I'm cool with, that I'm thorough with. So that's another way kind of how I know him and shit. Like, my man Rockball, shout out to Rockball. I mean, Chinko the Greek. I mean, Wiz P, like, they like, that's, I kind of know Bam through them. Like, cause, you know, man, Chinko go way back. I mean, way back before he was rapping and shit like that. So I already knew him. Maybe I'll share that story another time. We'll do something on Chinko. Like, but I know him from back in the day. And he had a little brother named Dom Stocky. Well, he got a little brother, not had a little brother, named Dom Stocky. And his little brother rap. And just so happened his little brother rap with Bam. Like, so they was like a team, a group called YD, Young and Deadly. You know what I mean? And eventually, like, when Chinko, you know, Chinko was with Candace and all that early on, then eventually started doing his own thing. He had some shit called Lighter Mouth. I mean, he's rocking with, like, Wiz P used to be a part of it. My man Chick, you know, who was down to Candace too. They used to be running around together and doing shit together. So he had a little Lighter Mouth movement, and you know they had YD under that. So it's like YD Lighter Mouth, YD LM. They had a little movement going on and shit. So that's around. So all around this time, that's kind of, you know, I'm fucking with Bam because they're around people I fuck with and I know. So, you know, I see him around, do shit with him and all of that. Like, so at one point in time, I think it's for like Bananas 3 DVD, so this had to be like 08, 09. And Bam had got shot up around this time. Like, he got hit up, I mean, pretty bad. I mean, but he survived. And I mean, so after like not soon after he got shot up, we was in the process of filming for the DVD already. So we was gonna get him on there. So like right after he got shot up, like I couldn't say exactly how long after, but it was like not that long after that. I mean, he wanted to get on the joint and shit. So he had came at this time. He used to get a lot of footage down the dungeon and shit like that. A bunch of rappers then came down. He had Sis came down multiple times. K Dot. I mean, Merc. I mean, a bunch of different rappers then, you know, been down there before. So we was gonna get Bam to come down and shit. So he had came down, he was shot up real bad, he was walking with a cane and shit like that in the dungeon, like downstairs in the basement and shit. So we was like, nah man, we just gonna do it like outside and shit, so he ain't gotta walk all the way down them steps with the cane and all that shit. But he was willing to do it, like he was soldiering up, like he was carrying it, even though he was hit up bad, he still was, I mean, he was active with it. So we just went outside sat in the wheel and shit, and I got some footage of him in there, and he went in on that joint and shit. Like,
about niggas, I rather trade 8 revolve them. Like Mr. Ring, saw me a nigga. We on the back block with no mask, just gloves and a 6-shot. Put him in his head, we making sure these niggas dead. Like, yeah, hit the corner, this shit harder, this shit soft. Either way, we dish it off. Can sell a ribbon to a frog. I'm a boss, I'm the boss that get that other boss off. I'm the goon that get that other goon murk. You know, pictures on the shirt. Limousine driver, follow when they hearse. Ever since we lost Bizzy, been riding for what it's worth. Now the magazine's empty, and bodies gotta drop. Can't afford for them attempting me. Niggas still snitching, babe. How me rate higher than the star on the Christmas tree. So I keep the mag tucked and damn nigga act up. This rap competition nothing, but we be on the block with some niggas that be riding like a ninja. All one Ducati. Watch me catch me a body on one of these fake fuckers that's frontin' like they somebody. Like them goonies ain't lurking, them goonies ain't posted. They make the wrong move and hit turkey. Roasted, posted, grinding, plus we ride like Matt Hoffman. Keep playing like you sick until I really leave you coughing like a pond box. 6 feet, niggas soft in the sheepskin. That purple got me dipping like I'm Bernie on the weekend. Hoping I get a deal to bail my niggas out the precinct. It's hard for me to write cause I hate looking at ink pens. Knowing it's a rap best friend to make a statement. To keep all the gorillas that's riding locked in the cages. Face it, niggas basic, do more naming than aiming. I noticed that these niggas ain't really tough as they saying. Them niggas really mad, they say I'm in my 5'8", my 12-12 skinny bag. The beef photo send me that. I'm thinking money, if I ain't got it, then give me that. Them niggas want it, it start a problem, we finish that. Them niggas wildin', they young and daily, remember that. How me Ray rising, you're pushing us to chip into that. We to the point where you find them, that's where you leave them at. Rain, sleet, hell of the snow, they need a freezer bag. Toe tag getting boxed, forever my semi-pop. Wherever my semi-pop, I'm looking to take him out. Goon till they take me out. The moon, what I'm hollering about. Quiet down that tune to see them goons at your mama house. First rule I learned about, never ever snitch. But the one that taught me that, he turned out to be a bitch. All them homies like a goon, look that ain't mean shit. Cause now we laid up in the ditch, he just remembered as a snitch. A G bout mine, y'all see bout mine. Y'all gotta take me to the needle when it's see bout mine. They gotta give me death row and me shook bout mine. I'm like I wish a nigga would bout mine. I'm at his doorstep. Yeah.
Now we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Get y'all a word from one of our local sponsors. This episode of Philly Fame TV is brought to you by 1212 plant-based hair care products. These products are good for men and women and best used in barbershops and hair salons. You could pick up some 1212 products at Hairbuzz and Hairtown in Philadelphia. Also shop online 12haircare.com for all deliveries. Now back to regular scheduled programming. So yeah, that's like the one of the joints that we definitely had him on. I'm not sure if we had him on another DVD after that, but I mean, eventually he bounced back from, you know, getting shot up and fully recovered and all that, and was back doing this thing and shit. Like, and he was featured on a lot of shout out to Twine and DeAndre, my man DeAndre shit, Making Moves DVD, a lot of them, cause they all from around the same era too. They know Bam too and shit, so they was getting a lot of shit with Bam. You know, and he was doing this thing for a little minute. Now fast forward, I mean, I see him running around with ARAD, I mean, OBH and all that. Like, so he wasn't really like an official member. I mean, Ed definitely was recruiting him because Ed was good to recruit certain people he felt like fit, you know, OBH and I mean, and how they was carrying it. So, you know, outside of the records they had from the people that you know in this hood, Ed was good to be grabbing certain people from around the city. That's how you grab like a Shop Money or Skinny Me. I mean, when Lil Man first came home, he had Lil Man around. I mean, fuck with people like General Reezy. I mean, so he had Bam as one of them people. Like Bam, I mean, Bam around and Bam in the mix with him, and he stamping him and all of that, working with him. And, you know, and at this time, that's when I noticed he changed his name to BeenTrill Bizzy. Like, he went from Get Busy Bam to BeenTrill Bizzy and all that. So he was running around with them, doing shit with them, doing shit with Dark Low, doing shit with Ed, you know, the whole team. Razor, bunch of OBH people who doing shit with them, I mean. And like I mentioned earlier, I seen him at the Philly Hip Hop Awards. It was like the end of 2015, you know, the Hip Hop Awards, they used to do them, Jimmy Satan, them should do them at the end of the year. So it was like December 2015 going into 2016. You know, they was, that's when all of them was there. Everybody was home, everybody was together outside. Ed, Dark Low, no bricks, bras, like the whole team, Reza, all of them, like, and Bam was with him and shit. So I got a little bit of footage. I mean, a brief little interview where everybody in there popping their shit. You know, Evan them should carry it just at the Hip Hop Awards, a little bit behind the scenes footage before they went on stage to go perform and all that. You know what I mean? So that was one time I really seen Bam with them all together, and it was a crazy little movement, crazy little moment, I should say. Got a flick at the end with all of them and all that, so that was a nice little jaunt. I mean,
my man Bizzy Bam just dropped some. I'm trying to sign Bizzy Bam. Put on camera. I'm trying to sign him to OBH, man.
Why Trill Bizzy?
I'm trying to put a slash on OBH
now, man.
Speaking on, only why I'm promoting this mixtape, he's my guy, and I want to sign to OBH. That's one of the perks your mixtape get promoted. Let's go.
So that was like the last time I seen them all together like that, with Bam and all of them together and shit like that. But you know, fast forward some time, he was working, doing his thing. You know what I mean, still doing what he was doing. Now I felt like, you know, before he was doing little DVDs and shit like that. Like some people knew who he was, but I felt like at this point, basically, he was down with Ed. You know, OBH had the wave that they had at the time, so I feel like Bam shit was starting to go up, starting to build up. More people starting to know about him. He was starting to get a little bit more in the mix, and I mean, and if he was able to carry it on, you know, a little bit longer, he could have, you know what I mean, use that platform, that OBH era platform, to kind of springboard his name and his stock a little bit more, you know. But unfortunately, you know, like I said, the Hip Hop Awards was in 2015 on in 2016, so a few years later, unfortunately, you know what I mean, I heard he got killed, I mean, in 2018, like, and that messed me up, man, because like I said, I know him personally, like, because we had, like, I know people around him and stuff like that, like, you know, I'm cool with, so we had, like, a personal ties, personal connection type thing outside of just rapping and shit. Like, Bam was a cool boy. I mean, I fuck with him. I know he was outside in the mix doing what he was doing, whatever the case may be. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but you know, based on how he was carrying it, based on how he was rapping, like, I mean, it seemed like he was outside and active and all that. So, I mean, it's still, so you know what come with it, but still kind of crazy to hear what happened. I mean, it kind of messed me up. Like, I mean, you know, posted about it on F.A.M.E page on the 25th, April 25th, 2018, but I believe it happened like a couple days before that. I mean, you know, I never knew exactly what happened, what was the circumstances around the situation. Never really heard too much about it, you know, but doing a little research on this joint, I seen somebody posted about it recently on Reddit, like actually inquiring, asking a question, like, cause they was basically posing a question, ironically saying like they ain't really hear too much about Bam, and they ain't really hear too much about him, like what happened, like did he do something flawed, something like that, why people not talk about him or what happened, whatever the case may be. And, you know, people commented with their speculations and all that. I ain't getting into none of that, you know, all that stuff is hearsay, whatever the case may be, but you know, just unfortunately, you know, he not here no more, and that happened, whatever happened, you know, and it's just crazy, like, man, like, RP to Bam, get busy, Bam, BeenTrill, Bizzy, you know what I mean, like, that was my guy, man, for sure, I fuck with Bam, like, and he could rap, like, in my opinion, like, the way he talked there and how he was talking, you know, his talk, you know what I mean, like, he was giving it to him from the street side, I mean, and how he was carrying it, all that. So the way he was doing it, like, I fuck with him. Like, he definitely could rap, in my opinion. Like, he had potential and talent, but unfortunately, you know, life got cut short, man. Condolences to his family, you know what I mean, his loved ones, people, all his folks and all that. This happened a little minute ago now, but I know people still, you know, missing him, still mourning his death and all that. Like, I mean, outside whatever he was into and all of that, like, Bam was a good dude. I mean, as far as how I seen him, like, so this episode ain't his life story. Like I tell about all these Drilladelphia, ain't his life story, you know. It's just like my perspective and my interaction with him, and all my interactions with him been thorough and cool. Like, he always been thorough, cool, regular, calm, chill boy. Like, busted up, laugh, joke. I mean, regular guy. Like. So I ain't saying like I know him crazy, hang with him, talk to him all the time, nothing like that. But I definitely, you know, been around him a nice amount of times, bumped into him a nice amount of times. So we did some work with him. I mean, back in the day on the DVD, and, you know, later on when he's with Ab. So, you know, that's a short joint, you know what I mean? I definitely wanted to, you know, pay homage to Bam, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't talk about him. A lot of people kind of did forget about him. So, you know, Definitely wanted to bring his story, you know what I mean, to light, shed some, light on who he was and try to keep his name alive in this way, you know what I mean? So that's gonna be the conclusion of this episode of Drilladelphia. Appreciate everybody that's been tapping in and showing love and supporting the channel, supporting the platform, and supporting the content. Stay tuned, more content coming soon. As I always say, follow F.A.M.E TV on all platforms. I mean, show love to the merch. We got some merch, Philly Fame shirts, hoodies, masks, etc. I mean, so click the link on the page, check out the merch. And I mean, stay tuned for the upcoming content we got coming soon. I mean, appreciate y'all. Until next time, we signing out. Philly Fame TV, we out here.